So after we've designed all our badges, we're going to start to add a bit of texture, give our badges some life to it, add a bit of depth. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to my textures. I've had these that I've created. I'm working on a product, so I've got all these cool textures. I took some pictures and made some tips. You can also go to Freepik as well, and if you type in textures and click vectors, you'll find you get all these cool, halftones, some grungy textures, and you can just use some of these. So once you have your texture, you want to, make sure you drag it in. So I'm just going to drag this one in, and you can see it's a TIFF. So what I usually do with TIFFs, it's pretty awesome. I can just change the color, and you can see that it's really easy to change the color, and I can get some nice effects. So I'm just going to leave it for black for now. And what I want to do, you see how I've got my badge? I'm just going to create a copy of this stroke. So I'm going to go Control C, Control F. So I've got a copy, and then I'm going to get rid of the stroke. And what I do is I create a clipping mask. So to make a clipping mask, I'm just going to drag this so you guys can see it. So I've got my circle here with the stroke, and then I've got my texture. And what I want to do, make sure you bring your texture to the bottom layer. So you press Control Shift left square bracket. So it's on the bottom. And then we have our circle. And what we do is you can select them both, go to Object, and then go to Clipping Mask, and go to Make, or the shortcut key is Control 7 or Command 7. So I'm going to press Make, and now you can see our texture is within the circle. So what I can do now, I can actually make the circle bigger if I want. I can also go and edit the texture inside the circle. So if you go on the top left corner, when you select it, you can see I've got two options. You can edit the clipping path, or you can edit the contents. So if I click Edit Contents, I can go in here and make the texture smaller, and it will stay within that circle. So I can make it bigger. I can come in here and change the color as well if I want. Make sure it's on the fill, which is pretty cool. And then I can also click back off it, and we'll go back to edit the circle. So I can come in here and edit the circle if I want, edit the shape, and change it the way I want. But I'm just going to leave it as the circle. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drag it over on top, and I'm going to make sure that it's aligned in the center, and it's directly over it. And then what I do, I go to my transparency panel. To open that, you go to Window, and then you go to Transparency. I'm just going to drag it out here, and you can see you've got different blending modes. So I'm just going to change the color of my circle, of my clipping mask. Make sure you go into the texture first and select it. I'm going to make it a brown, a darker color, and I'm going to select my clipping mask. You can see that, and I want to play around with the blending mode. So you can just put your mouse over it and scroll down, and you can see you start getting these really cool effects, and it adds a bit of grunge, bit of texture into it, as you can see. So I'm just going to go through and see what I like. I think I kind of like color dodge. Yeah, color dodge and overlay usually work well. I think I'm going to stick with this, and I'm just going to make it go less. So I'm going to put the opacity down, maybe 50%. Actually, I'll go 40%. Just to get this subtle texture. So now you can see you've got this subtle texture within our badge, just like that. And you can see it adds some nice, cool, texture and flavor to it, and makes it look a little bit more realistic. So done that. I'm also going to add a texture to this one really quickly. So we'll play around with another texture. We'll use one of these ones. We'll use a wood one. So I'm just going to get this tree bark one. So as we're going to do again, Control C, Control F, and now we've got this clipping mask, and bring it to the front, Control Shift right square bracket, and then make sure this is in to the bottom, and we're going to select our shape and select our texture and press Command 7 or Control 7. Now we've got our texture, and then again play around with the blending modes. You can see you can get some really cool textures, which is awesome. I think I'm going to go and multiply for this one. And I'm going to go in the clip group and change the color to brown. And I might leave it on multiply. Change the opacity down a little bit. And I'm going to bring it actually a bit down. I'm just using Control left square bracket and right square bracket, because I want the type to come up the top. And I'll just put it on the trees. Just like that, and we'll leave the type at the top so you can see it. So we've got that texture. I might make it a little bit less, just like that. So now we've got some cool wood texture in the background. Give the tree some life, and make it really awesome. This one has a pattern, so we don't have to add a texture there. Well, that's how you add textures to the badges. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial and look forward to making some more tutorials for you.